listen to a podcast?
Hold up. Check it out.
Well, we are back. Freak Show in the Mornings. Podcasting.
Yay, we're finally back.
We took a little bit of a break and we decided, hey, you know what? We're going to do this bigger and better.
Yeah.
Because we're always looking to find new ways to embarrass ourselves.
Yeah.
And so now the Freak Show in the Mornings podcast available exclusively right here on YouTube. So
there you go.
You can check these out anytime. And the cool thing is like, let's say you have a Roku and you can go right to YouTube and you're cleaning the house and you can listen to us rant about whatever.
Just be
or
silly,
in
yeah.
your car or whatever the case may be. And today we're talking about several things. First and foremost, how to break the streak of dating losers. Now, if you've listened to the Freak Show in the Mornings for any amount of time, and we're not, of course, going to go into a lot of detail on this, but Mary Mac rejoined the single world sometime, last year?
Yeah,
it was a year ago.
Yeah.
And her dating life has been a complete train wreck, to say the least.
Bad. Yeah, it has.
Now, to put it in perspective, before then, I was single, not anymore.
Right.
And Mary Mac had a quest, and her quest was that she was going to find me the perfect girl. She even signed me up for Tinder. She was ghosting other dating sites for me.
Right. I was.
I'm not going to really tell you the quality of woman that responded.
It wasn't a great quality, no.
Didn't get anything on Tinder. That was a waste of time.
You never got a message on Tinder.
Although, as soon as I enacted my Tinder account, the first person that came up as a match was you. Which
weird.
was funny.
Super weird.
But anyway, Mary Mac, she's been stuck in an endless cycle of dating terrible guys. And every time she starts seeing someone, she gets this feeling, okay, maybe I found a good one.
Maybe.
And then before dinner's even over, it's like exit strategy. So either that or you're dating weirdo after weirdo and your bad date stories are piling up. It drives you crazy.
Yeah.
After all, and I can say this, Mary Mac is a good person. She has her flaws, but she is a good person.
I'm pretty normal.
And you're not really into the weird guys or some horrible twist of fate. You don't want to end up tied to a tree somewhere in out there in Jackson County or Overton County or somewhere or Grundy County.
What's going to happen a few times, yeah.
And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
It does.
Anyway, there's I guess a super secret club where all the normal people get together and we're just not in the loop, evidently, on where this place is at.
I would say so, probably.
Anyway, there's only one explanation to this whole cycle that you are experiencing.
And it is?
Well, as a woman, Mary Mac, and I know I can speak from personal experience, who lives and breathes, I too have experienced this.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, as a woman.
In the form of awful Tinder dates, annoying boys I met while out with the girls.
Yeah, girl.
Guys trying to convince me to be a sugar baby.
Right?
Men
you are
getting
not a
too
sugar
handsy.
Baby. You're good for that, girl.
Mediocre guys I spend too much of my time on.
Yeah.
I've learned that dating is just almost impossible.
It is impossible.
Anyway, our vision is to find Mary Mac, a man that will appreciate her, that fits in with all of her idiosyncrasies or whatever.
I was like, are you sure you're not the one trying to find a man at this point?
No, I'm not. I have.
You have a man?
Yes.
Girl, you got a man.
I got several men.
I got a man, girl.
No, I'm happy with the person I'm with right now.
Good. Okay.
And she is a female. Yes.
Okay. Good.
Anyway, before we get to, there's a couple different ways, I guess, that this is usually plays out. 4 types of terrible guys and how to just to completely avoid getting involved with them.
Okay, that sounds good.
But before we do that, I think we need to give a synopsis. Of maybe
a little bit
the last 4 or 5 months.
I would say so.
Of Mary Mac's dating life as she parodies Ariana Grande's "Thank You Next."
Thought I'd end up with Michael, but it wasn't a match. I wrote some songs about Brandon.
Wait, who's that?
Now I listen and laugh. And I actually got married. And for David, I'm thankful. Wish I could say thank you for Dax.
Oh, you just did.
That boy is an angel.
Aww.
One taught me love. One was so crazy. And one taught me pain. Now I'm so amazing. Said loved and I've lost. But that's not what I see. Look what I got.
What's that?
Now look what you taught me. And for that I say thank you. Next.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Next.
Thank you. I'm so Grateful for my ex.
Which one?
Next.
Next.
Thank you.
Next. Next.
Thank you.
Next.
I'm so grateful.
All right, there you go. Yeah.
Hey, now you have a little insight into my life.
Who knew that Mary Mac could be the next Ariana Grande?
It's so good. I sounded just like her.
All right, the 4 types of terrible guys that you probably need to avoid and stay away from if you're out there in the dating world. We'll start off with the creep.
The creep. Yeah, this is the guy that you meet while you're out on the town. Maybe you're a little bit tipsy. Maybe you're a little bit lonely. He's the one that's just a little too handsy or a little too pushy and won't take no for an answer. Is it uncomfortable? Yes, it always is. You might be feeling like it's easier or safer to just give him a phone number, even if it isn't yours, which I've done. It's a bad situation, and for whatever reason, you have a bad feeling in your gut. And guess what, ladies? That is not okay.
And, you need to stay firm with that no.
Hashtag no means no.
Find some friends, a group of people, pretend to be your friends, lie about having a boyfriend, lie about having a medical emergency. I think it's fair to say it's like we see in the movies where you have that person where you send them a quick text that say 911,
like a SOS,
and they immediately call you up and say, oh my gosh, my sister is in labor right now. I have to go.
I gotta go. You know what normally works for me is that when someone starts to talk to me like that, and then normally the second or third question is like, what do you do? I tell them I'm like a professional, like MMA fighter. Like I fight like in the ring with other chicks, and then they're really put off by it, and that kind of saves me.
When you sit there and say I fight in the ring with a bunch of other chicks,
yeah. Oh well,
that might bring
that might be a bad thing.
The really weird guys that want to anyway. So evidently, in the past 12 months, say you have experienced the creep.
I have experienced the creep, absolutely, yeah.
Several times over.
It's weird.
Of course, then you get to number 2, the guy who doesn't understand the friend zone.
Right, yeah. This is the guy that isn't really your type. I think we've just talked about this like the other day, the date that I just went on.
Yep.
I mean, it's fine, but it was a little weird.
On paper, it looks good.
Exactly. But then when you see it in person, it's like,
no.
Right. So he might be totally smitten. Maybe he's had his eye on you for a while. And the fact of the matter is that you're just not into it. And, I often find myself in this situation where I enjoy someone's friendship or they're like a good guy, but the other person's looking for something more than I am willing to give. Sometimes it just stays at that level where you just stay in like that weird undefined limbo, which can be fine as long as there's no pressure. But however, more often than not, and it happens a lot,
when it comes down to game time,
it's like, I'm a nice guy, why aren't you into me scenario, and then it can get really intense really fast.
Well, and I think it's fair to say if you know you aren't into him, just be honest about it.
Right.
Let him go.
Okay.
Every guy out there, and I can say this from personal experience, you hate to have the quote-unquote friend talk where you sit down, you're drinking coffee together or something, and you say, I just feel like you're my friend. Or in your case, what you've said for me for 10 years is, you're more like my brother.
Yeah.
And it gets really weird.
Or that creepy uncle that you invite to Thanksgiving that is trying to play.
I'm not that much older than you. Come on, seriously.
Trying to play footsie with you under the table, and you're like, dude, like we're related. It's so weird.
So weird. So it's always, in any kind of dating situation, it's always a good idea to be open and honest about how you feel and try to be aware of everybody's feelings in this situation all the way around.
I mean, I would say that this is often probably the most successful way to deal with a situation like this. If you kind of let things be undefined, like he might feel hopeful and then end up feeling like he was led on. So end it early, be open and honest about how you feel, and try to be aware of his feelings while you do.
Yeah. Of course, and Mary Mac, you have just recently experienced that kind of dating man.
I have.
Without going into all the details,
we don't have to do the details, no.
All right. The third guy that you may want to stay away from in the dating world, ladies, is the I'm bored and you're here guy.
Okay, yeah. Too often, I make the mistake of boredom for loneliness, and it seems like a common thing among my friends and some of my family that are in the dating pool.
Settling for less than what you deserve.
It's so easy to say yes when you don't really have a reason to say no. Sometimes someone asks you out at the perfect time when you're a little more available than usual. You might have a little extra time in the day, and that doesn't mean you need to find a man.
And this kind of goes along with the friend zone guy.
Right.
If he's not worth your time, then he's probably not worth the effort, and you just need to go ahead and Nope,
and
it's not
end it
happening.
and just not do it?
Yeah.
Just because someone is like conveniently around doesn't mean that we should always say yes. We should stick to our gut and don't settle just because he's available.
Because there's always someone else out there.
The grass is always a little bit greener.
In some cases.
cases.
In Middle Tennessee's case, it's always flooded.
It's brown or dirty.
It's always flooded.
Or burnt.
All right, we are moving right along with the Freak Show in the Mornings podcast, talking about how to break your streak of dating losers, which Mary Mac is, she's like the New England Patriots of this right now.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Last but not least, of course, we've already talked about number one, the creep, the friend zone guy, the I'm bored just because you're here guy, and now we have the okay boyfriend.
Okay, well, you tell me about the okay boyfriend.
Okay, what about it?
Well, you don't know anything about an okay boyfriend?
I sometimes have felt like that. Most people who've dated can actually think of a relationship and put it in this category.
Correct.
This is the one. This is the guy you date for too long for no reason.
Okay.
He's really an okay guy, and maybe you realize he's mediocre early on, but you really aren't ready to end it. Kind of like the I'm bored guy. You just kind of stick with it because
there you go.
You feel like you have nothing better to do.
Right, you're
Let's be honest. We all enjoy having someone to rely on, just to be around.
Okay.
You know, that person, and having someone to post about with Valentine's Day or anniversaries or birthdays, or hey, we went to Nashville together, or whatever
a good
else.
feeling. Yeah.
It makes us feel as complete, like we have companionship.
Right, but the truth about the okay boyfriend is that he definitely isn't filing. Is that filing?
No, it's filling, Mary. Filling your life with joy.
This is why.
Yeah.
Well, I always like to fill and file both at the same time.
Exactly, I know you do.
I fill and file
It's called
together.
multitasking.
Anyway, he's not giving you joy. He isn't building you up. He isn't encouraging you to be your best self. He's a placeholder, and you honestly deserve a lot better.
And you know, Mary Mac, it's so easy to find a decent guy out there that you can tolerate and slip into this comfort zone, this relationship with, hoping things are going to be okay.
Right.
Someone to watch another 48 with every single weeknight of the week.
Right.
Yeah.
But
he's just a placeholder.
But don't let yourself do it.
He's a placeholder.
He is a placeholder.
You don't need to settle for less.
Right, exactly. This is how we're ending up with
Well, the truth about dating, let's be honest, is it can really suck. And the older you get, and the more
it sucks even
quote
worse.
unquote baggage that is associated with it,
that you
whether
accumulate,
it be houses and cars and
kids
and payments and kids and insurance and everything else, it's just going to get harder and harder as you go along. But Mary Mac, you deserve. Mary Mac, look at my eyes.
I'm looking in your eyes.
You deserve to find someone that you can be giddy with.
Oh, do I?
Or is that giddy up with?
Giddy, hey! Giddy up.
Because we're trying to find Mary Mac someone where she walks into the freak show each and every day with that stupid, goofy grin that she just can't wipe off her face.
I don't know. I mean, we can keep saying no to the guys and try to find something freaking awesome, but let's be honest, that's like it's 1 in a million at this point.
But then you get to my situation, where and it was kind of neat because you pointed this person out a year before I even met her.
I did,
and said this would be like the dream person for you,
right? And you said there's no way.
She's out of my league.
Exactly.
Blah blah blah. So now, months later, I can actually say I'm content. I'm happy.
Right.
Really enjoy being with this person.
Right.
Where the future goes, we don't know, but it's exciting. That's the thing.
It is exciting.
It's exciting.
It is fun. New relationships are always fun.
But coming in and doing the freak show and our times when we're off the air and we're just talking about our personal lives or whatever, Mary Mac, on a daily basis, I think is fair to say you want to throw up.
I do want to throw up sometimes. Yeah, I do.
Because the top 10 signs with the Freak Show in the Mornings podcast that you are an annoying couple.
That's disgusting. This is not going to be fun.
We're going to go down through this, and I want you to check off whether myself and my significant other would qualify as an annoying couple.
Okay.
Because these are the top 10 annoying couple sins.
Okay.
Whether you're married, whether you're just dating somebody, boyfriend, girlfriend, whether you're just casually dating somebody.
Okay.
These are the top 10 annoying couple sins. We'll start off with number 1. You kiss constantly.
I guess. I mean, I haven't spent a whole lot of time with you guys, but I know that you take a lot of pictures.
Public displays of affection usually aren't well received in most places.
Yeah.
But a peck on the lips is okay sometimes. But if you're all out, I mean, we're talking tongue and throat.
Dude, I just saw a couple do this the other day at a restaurant, and they were full on getting it on at a booth.
Humping with their mouths,
and
basically,
I'm like,
is what you're saying.
Take it to the car.
Yeah.
No one wants to see that while they're eating tacos.
I don't do that.
No, it's disgusting.
I don't do that.
Like, how far do you push PDA?
Well, I think it all goes to, honestly, the situation, the environment.
Right.
Like if you're at a nightclub at 2 o'clock in the morning, an open mouth kiss is going to be much more acceptable.
Like you're about to get frisky on the dance floor?
Than sitting at a restaurant at 6 o'clock with families around you.
I mean, yeah, no, I get that. I feel like you have to be respectful for the people that are around you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Number 2, you baby talk to each other.
I can't stand this when people do this. I think it's disgusting. Do you do this? I don't know. I haven't heard. I know that you have nicknames for each other, but I don't. I think you do. I've heard you say them, I think.
I have one nickname for her I can't say.
Wait, you're not allowed to say it?
No, I can't say
Why?
it. It's
Can
bad.
you write it down on a piece of paper?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on, say something.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of intrigued at why you can write it on a piece of paper, but you can't say it out loud.
I can't say it out loud. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Is it that dirty?
Yeah.
Is that dirty? Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh
I'm not
my gosh, that's not bad.
I'm not going to say it. But in relationships, you get these puppy names, and But in this case, you baby talk to each other like, oh man, kind of like
that's disgusting.
You're so pretty.
I mean, the best nickname I ever got was sexual napalm. Literally, that's the best one I ever got.
Well, that's because I think now that we've seen you out in the dating world for the last year, everything you touch just gets completely annihilated, okay? We get it. All right, top 10 signs you're an annoying couple is what we're talking about with the Freak Show in the Mornings podcast. Number 3, you argue in front of people.
Ew, I hate this one. I hate when people do this. It's so weird when you're in the middle of an argument with people and you're the third wheel, or maybe you're like the other couple with people.
Or maybe you're just a bystander and you sit there and watch it because it's like being on some real life reality TV show.
Yeah, I know. I did see this the other day, and I think I was at Walmart, and there was a couple fighting, and the girl had his phone and had it flipped around in his face.
She just found something.
And was like, I can't believe you did this.
She just found something.
Out of nowhere, you know what she did? Oh, smash a Rooney.
Smash the phone.
Threw it right down on the ground.
Wow.
I know. I was a little shocked.
Harsh.
I know. It's pretty bad.
That's harsh. And with the cost of phones these days, I mean, that's not a cheap little tantrum.
It's not a cheap fix.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
All right, top 10 signs you're an annoying couple here on the Freak Show in the Mornings podcast. You talk over each other when she's telling a story and you want to chime in every 4 seconds because you think she left something out.
Oh, geez. I call that the one-upper. I don't like that. If, you have a story to tell, then let your significant other tell it.
I'm sometimes guilty of that because my mind starts going into so many different directions.
Yeah, and you also have, early onset dementia. So
no, I do not.
You do. So you tell the same story. You'll tell me a story that you said yesterday, and then you'll tell it to me the very next day like I've never heard it before.
That's
and
because I'm so excited about it.
You literally told me that.
So excited
about it. You told me
that
yesterday.
All right, number 5, top 10 signs you're an annoying couple. You don't seem to like each other. Well, I know that's not a problem in this over here on this farm.
I don't get this. It says you don't argue, you don't kiss, the hell you don't even acknowledge each other. You sit there like strangers and just people watch because you know that if you do talk to each other, someone's going to bring up the pink elephant in the corner, which I assume the pink elephant would be like you're in a fight or something.
Or you could be announcing that you're having a baby. I don't know.
Or that you don't. Yeah. That's kind of weird. Do you need to say anything?
No, I'm just saying, I mean, you know how people make these elaborate things with having a baby, pink, blue, maybe the pink elephant. Anyway, I think this gets back to the same thing. What is the line? And there is no definitive answer.
Right.
What's the line of PDA?
What's that? Wait, we're talking about PDA?
Well, I mean, you don't seem to like each other, which goes right along with that same thing. I mean, you have one extreme, which is too much PDA,
right,
and then you have the other extreme where there's not enough PDA.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you don't like each other and you don't even want to be around each other, then don't even expose your relationship to the world at this point.
Number 6, you criticize single friends, and now that, of course, you're part of a couple, you think that being single is like a disease and no one should be experiencing it. You have nothing but choice words for those who opt to remain single.
Let's talk about this one. And let's talk about how...
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
How you do that all the time, and you critique and make fun of what I do as a single lady, yet not a year ago, you were in the same position doing the same thing.
And guess what? You did the same thing to me. You would criticize me and bash me live on the radio, I might add, on a constant basis.
Right.
But In my case, when I criticize you about your dating life, I do it because I care.
Right. I did it because I cared.
No, you did it because you want to be evil.
I didn't want to be evil.
You want to be evil.
I did it. I was trying to help you.
I did it because I genuinely care about you, and I don't want to see you walking down the wrong road.
Okay.
Now, I also care of you being on the Freak Show in the mornings with me because I don't want to get a phone call that we found Mary Mac out there in some secluded wooded area 3 miles outside of town, tied up to a tree, wearing nothing but like a Victoria's Secret's like nightie.
Mom, come get me!
Mom, the meatloaf!
The meatloaf!
Oh, goodness gracious. Top 10 signs you're an annoying couple. Number 7, you feed each other.
I can't do this.
Stand that.
I can't do this. I went on a date the other night, and actually the guy was kind of nice, and he got, what did he get? I think he got a pork chop or something, and he was like, oh, you really need to try this? And I said, okay. Normally, if someone does that, to me, they'll stick a fork in the bite and kind of put it out, and I'll take it off with my fingers and eat it.
Or better yet, I'll just reach across with my fork and grab it.
Right.
And I think that's okay sometimes, but when you're sitting there either side of this whole romantic equation, and you're sitting there and one person is feeding the other one, I mean, seriously.
I mean, that's literally what I thought was going to happen, and he went in to feed me. Right. So I'm like, okay, I guess this is happening. So I opened my mouth, and not only did he not feed me correctly, but he took the piece of pork chop, true story, and was going down my tongue.
Yeah, he was trying to eroticize you with the pork chop. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. He was trying to eroticize you with the pork chop.
Come on with it.
Listen, if you're on a date with somebody, whether you've been married for 25 years or whether you've only known the person for 25 hours, and you have serious mommy issues.
Yeah,
you need to go get a therapist.
I'm not feeding you off of my finger. Not going to happen.
Top 10 signs you're an annoying couple. Number 8, you have millions of inside jokes.
Right. After being together for years, you're bound to have some inside jokes that no one else will understand. And that's great for you. It really is. But do you really need to bring it up, every single time in like a 4-hour span? And I know people that do this all the time, and it's really awkward for people who are with them. This is I don't know what you're talking about. And a lot of times they're sexual jokes. So you're like, this is so weird.
If you're together in a couple situation where there's several different couples that are together, then I can see where it's awkward. As far as having an inside joke, if I'm out on a date with that certain someone, I'm not, number one, I'm not there to entertain people that are around me. So I really could care less what you think anyway.
Oh.
And if we have inside jokes, get over it.
Oh, you're just going to do it anyway?
I'm just going to do it anyway.
You don't care if you make people feel weird?
Well, I mean, if they're eavesdropping in on our conversation while we're having an intimate dinner together, then you know what? Sorry.
I mean,
sorry.
It's like sitting at a table with someone and looking over, and the guy's like looking at his girlfriend, and he's winking, and he's like, Kings Island. And the other person's like, what? And then she's like, yeah, Kings Island.
You can go ahead and do the king thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Bow to your king.
Bow to your king.
Bring me your stable, boy.
Gets a little, at that point, then if you're overhearing that conversation, it's really
then
weird.
It's
like,
funky.
Okay, yeah.
It does.
All right, number 9, you use pet names.
Oh, God. I remember the Seinfeld episode where Jerry and his girlfriend kept referring to each other as Schmoopy. Which actually, that's what I call Kevin. And it would really piss George off. Well, George is not alone. There's nothing more annoying than listening to couples refer to each other as these bizarre pet names like Bunny. Like, stop. It's so annoying.
Bunny. Who has ever called their
Bunny?
Hey, Bunny.
Maybe they're thinking of like Honey Bunny. Ugh. Honey
God.
Bunny.
Ooh, yucky.
Ooh.
Yeah. What was your name again?
Sugar Peaches.
Oh.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, the weird thing is if you're sitting there eavesdropping on a couple and all of a sudden she goes, Daddy.
Yeah.
Then,
it gets a little funky.
Weird.
Especially when it's followed by the Kings Island thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Do the stable boy again.
Bring me out stable boy.
Oh, Daddy. Yeah, weird.
That's
all right,
strange.
last but not least, we're talking Freak Show in the Mornings podcast. Top 10 signs you're an annoying couple. This goes without saying.
Go ahead.
You dress alike.
I mean, it's one of the ultimate sins in coupledom.
I mean, it's bad enough that couples start to look alike after a while, but I mean, goodness gracious, Mary Mac, is it really necessary to start coordinating your outfits and color coding?
I think it's cute. I like it. Honestly, I can't.
You dress like you. I'll dress like me. chances are, if we're a couple,
If you're cohesive.
then we're kind of dressing along the same lines anyway.
Right.
But I'm not wearing a one of those shirts that you see at these novelty stores in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Like
that
my
says,
king,
yeah.
her queen. Or wait, what is it? It would be like his queen, and then is that right?
Her king.
Her king.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Or one, yeah, her king.
Oh yeah, and his queen. There
yeah.
you go. That's what it is.
Or a shirt that says, I don't know, my boyfriend, an arrow or
right.
something.
Or like I'm with her.
Yeah.
And then yours is like I'm with him.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
really hot. I'm really not.
I think that stuff is fun. I think like if you're going to like an amusement park or something, but like not if you're going out to dinner or some place. Well, this is weird.
Yeah, weird
Anyway,
stuff.
all right.
You don't need to dress alike if you're with a couple. Be yourself and
Be yourself.
everything. There you go. Top 10 signs that you're an annoying couple. I think it's fair to say now that I can definitively say that I'm in a relationship right now where we're not an annoying couple.
You don't think so?
Nope.
I think that you checked off a few boxes, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that you're doing pretty well.
But I mean, if I'm batting 200, that's not too bad.
Don't use a sports reference. No one understands us.
Whereas with you,
oh yeah, well I clicked every
lots of
mouse
them.
on that.
Lots of them. It's amazed
Lots
me in the
of
last
clicking.
12 months how all of a sudden your clothing attire just completely changes with every person that you start talking to.
Very funny.
Off of Instagram.
Oh, very, very
Craziness.
funny.
Freak Show in the Mornings podcast available to you for free 24/7. Right here on YouTube. And of course, you can always check out the Freak Show in the Mornings, weekday mornings on 98.5 KISS FM, starting off at 5 a.m.